Hi everyone, how's it going? Madeline from Dribble here. How is everyone? It's great to see so many people in the chat. Hi, hi Belen, hi ha. Where's everyone joining from? And also, who's been to a Spark AR holiday workshop before? We've done two of these, one 2 days ago, one 5 days ago. So I'd love to know whether you've been to our previous Spark AR workshops. I'll put a little poll up, and I'd love for you guys to vote on the poll. Mohammed, Sydney, 1 a.m. Wow, you beat me. It's 6 a.m. where I am. I'm on the west coast of America. Malaysia. Yes, yes, you can get the links to the two previous workshops. We'll link them in the chat. They're on YouTube. We'll link them in the chat, and I'll also send them via email after this workshop. Pre-recording. 11 a.m. here in Berlin, South Africa. Cool. It's so cool how many people from all around the world join these workshops. Vietnam, Turkey. Awesome. Well, who's excited to have a couple of hours of learning how to create augmented reality effects that you could post onto Instagram? I can't believe that this is something that we're able to learn now and we're actually able to create our own holiday effects. Um, so awesome. Thanks for joining. Hello from India. Great. Well, we're going to get started in just a second. We've got our great buddy here, Varun, to teach us the ins and outs of creating holiday effects with Spark AR. He's going to be using the theme fairy lights, and I've seen his effect. It's super, super cool. So I think you guys will be excited to see his effect. Cool. Can you hear me, Renee? Can everyone still hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. But maybe some technical issues at 6 a.m. My computer hasn't warmed up yet. Okay, let's get into some housekeeping before we jump into getting Varun on stage. So use the chat to get to know each other. We love to see you post links to your portfolios in the chat. We love to see you guys communicate with each other in the chat. These are really like engaging events where you can meet other designers. Also use the Q&A panel to put your questions in. You could upvote other people's questions. So if you see a question someone else likes, just raise your hand, just click the upvote, and then that will mean that the question raises to the top of the pile. The more votes the question gets, the more likely it is to get asked. Varun's going to be doing a lot of question and answer during this, so make sure to have all your questions ready. He'll answer them all for you. Also, Varun's session is going to be extremely interactive, which is so exciting. There's going to be so much interaction, and you're able to actually come up onto stage with him and show your work to him. If you want to come up onto stage, raise your hand in the question and answer portion of the chat. That means, hey, Varun, I want to come onto stage. I want to speak to you. I want to turn my camera on. I want you to see my effects. So don't be shy when that time comes. Feel free to raise your hand and come on stage. This holiday series of workshops is running alongside a Spark AR holiday competition where first prize is $50,000. You have until December the 21st to get your effects in and submit your effects. I've seen a wide range of different Christmas effects or holiday effects, and they're all super cool. So I really encourage you to sign up to the competition. Renee's put the link in the chat, so make sure you go and sign up. And just the agenda of this amazing interactive workshop, we're going to have a demo video, which is pre-recorded, but Varun's still going to be in the chat. So if you want to ask questions while the demo video is happening, Varun will be able to answer those questions in the chat. We're also going to have some breakout rooms, creator pods. When those creator pods open, there'll be two experience levels, the newcomer and the experienced. In the newcomer, Varun's going to be there for 15 minutes and then hop over to the experience. These creator pods are really a chance for you guys to sort of practice the techniques that you've just learned in the demo video and meet other designers and ask questions. Varun could share his screen and show you any technical answers to your questions. And then we're going to have more Q&A. We're going to understand how to publish our effects and see some of your guys' effects as well. So really exciting few hours of learning. If you run into any technical issues, just flag us in the chat. I'm here the whole time and use the help tab. Also, if you're sharing this on social media, we would love to see all of your posts on social media. Tag us at Dribble, tag Spark Creators, and tag Varun. He'll put his handle in the chat to make sure you tag him. Also, this workshop's been recorded and streamed to YouTube. Like I said at the beginning, I'll make sure to send out the recording to this session and the two previous sessions, so you'll be able to catch up on all the Spark AR holiday workshops. And a massive thanks to our welcome partners who are running this technical virtual event. And I've got my wonderful friend and colleague with me here, Renee.
Hello, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the workshop today. I'll be in the chat if you need anything or run into any issues.
You guys who've come to the previous workshops have met Renee before. She's awesome and is here to help out through the whole event. So that's enough housekeeping for me. I would love to kick this workshop off and introduce you to Varun Raikar. So Varun is a Spark AR creator and he's based in India. He's helping brands and influencers delight and convert their audiences into customers with the power of augmented reality. He's been exploring the world of AR for almost 2 years, and he's created an AR filter of a clone effect on Instagram, which went viral. Did you guys see it? It was an awesome filter. It had 500,000 reels made and over 1 billion impressions. So we're so happy to have him here today as a mentor and teacher. Take it away, Varun.
So, hello everyone, how are you? Thank you so much for joining today. I see you all are from like super you all are from Russia, India, and it's like 1 a.m. there in Sydney. Thank you so much for joining. And today I hope you enjoy this workshop, learn something new, and I cover a lot of things in this workshop. So in this next 40 to 45 minutes, you'll learn a lot of things. Please do make sure you ask the doubts. If you don't understand anything, just ask me that. I'll make sure to help you instantly. And so let's just get started. We can directly right now jump into recording, or wait 1 sec. Before that, I'll just tell you about the competition. I'll share my screen right now.
Hey, Varun, before we get into it, shall we play your promo video? I want everyone to see what amazing effects you've already created.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hi, my name is Varun Raikar. I'm an AI designer and developer based in India. Some of my popular and recent work includes Clone Dance, Devil's Food Cake, CSL Trivia, Dance Filter for T-Series, and lot more. So in this interactive workshop, I will be teaching you how you can make an amazing AR effect for the winter holidays based on the theme Fairy Lights. You will learn things like importing 3D assets, assembling the scene, modifying the materials, adding logic and interaction in the patch editor, how you can make custom render pipelines using render passes to achieve different visual effects like blur, glow, color correction, and a lot more. Not just this, you'll also learn tons more tips and tricks throughout the workshop. After the workshop, we will also have a live Q&A session. I'm super excited for this workshop in collaboration with Dribble. Can't wait to see you there. Go to dribble.com/learn to register for the workshop for free.
Awesome. So right now, what I'll do is I'll share how can you enter the competition, and also answer the poll if you have entered the competition or not. Let me share my screen. So to join the competition, you can go to facebook.com/sparkarhub/competitions. Here you can see the time remaining, that is 5 days and 17 hours. Here you can see the assets, and make sure you read all the rules, because if you don't, then you might end up making a really good effect and don't follow the rules, and that might not get you the prize. So please make sure to read all the rules before you are making the effect. And to join the competition, it's very simple process. Just click on the join button, make sure your name and email address is correct, agree with the policies. You can read the rules here by clicking here. So I've already read those, and click on join. Here you can see the first step is get holidays Spark AR assets. You can get them in the AR library. Next is to submit your effect. We will do that after our record, after we go through the tutorial. The way you get your points is when people open your effect and share that effect on their stories or posts or reels. So make sure you make your effect as shareable as possible. Awesome. So these are the rules, and you can click on here and learn more. You have this documentation ready, and once you're done reading all of the FAQ and rules, you can just click on done, and you have entered the competition here. Right now you can see I have not started. My rank is I cannot participate here, but you can definitely. My rank is 922, and this is the leaderboard right now. If you make your effect and your effect gets a lot of shares and opens, your filter will rise to the top very soon. Awesome. So I'll stop my screen share. Hope you have understood how to join the competition. It's super simple process. Just go to this page. So that is facebook.com/parkarab/competitions and click on join. That's it. Now I'll stop my screen share, and we are back. And you also have your polls. So awesome. Let's see how many people are a beginner, have used the software. Okay, there's 70% people are beginners. Awesome. Okay. I'll tell you what this tutorial consists of. What I've done is I have made a base project for you guys. So I have set up the materials, I have set up the base location in the location for the party hat and the glasses in the patch editor. It's super simple. You can just see what I've done. It's very simple. You use a face tracker producer patch and use adaptive scale patch that you can get in the AR library and connect that to the head occluder, or uh, I have used the round glasses. That is also I got it from the AR library. So I've connected to the 3D scale of the eyeglasses. So you can see that. And one other thing is, what you can do is I'll directly start. The main focus for this workshop is how you can make this glowing effect for the glasses, for the lights, fairy lights. The main theme for the workshop is fairy lights. So you will learn how to make the fairy lights glow. That too procedurally in the patch editor using render passes. That is like super cool technique. I hope you learn that. If you have any doubts in that, just ask me in the chat. I definitely help you out. Awesome. Now we can play the tutorial and get started.
Hey, what's up guys? So before building the effect, I want to show you what all assets you'll get in the project kit. First of all, you'll get this folder with the 3D models with fairy lights, party hat and round glasses. Fairy lights and party hat are available in the AR library. Round glasses is also available there, but I have done some processing. Like I have got it from there. I have imported them into Blender, done some processing because the model that we got from there had some rotation issues. So I have fixed that and re-imported into Spark AR. And then we got the LUT that we'll be using in our effect. Then I've got the overlay. This is the video of it, and I have converted them into texture image sequence. So this is 5 FPS and another one is 10 FPS. Next, I've got all the patches that we'll be using in this effect. Most of them are available in the AR library, so you can get it directly from there. And here we have textures, that is grain texture and wire alpha mask. I will not be using grain texture. If you want, you can use it. This is just provided to you. Inside the project kit, you'll also get this project file, which is already kind of set up. It has got all the assets imported in it, so you can directly get started building the effect. Okay, let's now switch to my video. I will not be using this video because like it's not that high quality. Usually what I do is I use this camera feed into my computer, but since it's recording separately right now, I'll not be using that. I'll just be using simulator videos. Particularly, I'll be using videos from Eddie's pack, that is Eddie's bag of tricks. These are really good videos. If you don't have a great quality webcam, like here I don't have this quality isn't that great, so I'll be using those videos. Cool. Okay. Now here we have three null objects. I'll just go through what all things are there in this project, like predefined. In the fairy lights null object, we have got the fairy lights, and what I've done is I've added two lights, that is one ambient light and one directional light, and then I've got lights and wires separately. Here what I've done is I have duplicated the fairy lights object two times, like I've made two copies of it. One will be lights and another will be wires. So here what I've done is I have duplicated the fairy lights object two times. I've renamed first one as lights and second one as wires. I've got two separate materials for it. I'll just show you in a minute. Materials, and I've done some alpha mask processing in the patch editor. So earlier I told you that we have the wire alpha mask. So what I've done is I have the fairy lights color texture, that is the base texture. I'm sending it to a mix patch, and I'm using the wire alpha mask as the alpha mask here. So whatever is not like, what we're doing is taking the mask, like it will be easier to show you if we have the visual representation here. Okay, so let's just remove the wires. So what I've done is I'm taking the base texture, I'm removing the wire part out of it, and then sending it to the lights material. Similarly, what I'm doing in the lights is I'm taking the um, base texture, I'm removing the lights part and sending only the wires part. That's it. This is that is what this is doing here. And next we have got this and enable lights. Next, we have got another null object, that is user. This we'll be using for user segmentation. And next, we have got accessories that we have for glasses and the party hat. Party hat, you can arrange it any manner that you want. I have just arranged it like this. And here we have got the path set up for it. What I've done is I'm using the face tracker producer patch, sending it to adaptive scale. This is a patch that you can get in the AR library, and sending the values of it to head occluder scale. And also I'm sending it to the face decoration and head decoration null objects, which I'm using for the party hat and the glasses. I've got some values here. You can tweak it according to your liking. Then this is for the position of the glasses and head decoration object, that is the party hat. So this is the basic setup that I have over here. And all of the materials are set to physically based. Whenever you import any 3D model, please make sure that you have the blend mode set to alpha, because by default it will have blend mode set to replace, and that will cause a lot of issues when we will be using render passes. So make sure you always have alpha for them. And next, I'm using the environment texture for it. Here, like, this is not like very evident right now, but when we use the different render passes, then it will be like very clear. So I've got this, I've got all the materials, textures like color, emission, normal, ORM, and I've got the environment texture, HDRI, LUT, and animation sequence, wire alpha mask. That's it. Got, yes, and we have got all the patches. And also there's a script here, because what I've done is I have opened up the face decoration template. On top of this, I have built this. So that is why the script is there, but it's not actually needed. So let's get started building this. So the first thing that we are going to do is add glow to our fairy lights. So let's just hide user and accessories. We'll just be working with fairy lights for now. Now what you can do is drag fairy lights here and go to device, click on default under render output, click on default pipeline. So this is what it will give us: a camera texture, device object, and device producer patch, and the consumer patch for the device. So just add this here. We don't need device as of now. We need it later for something else. I'll tell you. So this is the background of the scene render pass. That is the camera. So we'll be using the camera texture as the background, and the fairy lights, whatever is in this null object, that is getting rendered in the scene right now. Here you can see it here as well. Next, what we'll do is I'll just take this up and adjust this so that we have space to work with. Next, we can get the lights object and we'll do processing in this. So send this to a scene render pass, change it to scene object. So right now, if you open this, you can see we are getting only the lights, not the wires, only the lights. Next, we'll send it to blur patch. Since we are already imported that patch, we can just search it here by double clicking. And I'll change the step to 3. Here for the texture size, we need device producer patch. So just connect that to a multiply patch and send that to this. You can see that like here we have got only number, but here there's a vector to value. It still works. It works with all of the math patches like add, subtract, and the divide. So it works with that also. You can just change it to vector 2 also if you want. You can manipulate the values like like this, like 0.25. You can change the x value, but since I'll not be doing that, I'll just use the single number property. Next, I'll send it to a shader render pass. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking whatever this lights object has, I'm blurring it multiple times and we'll add strength to it later. So you can change this to 0.5 as well. And then send it to another shader render pass, 0.5. Or we can go as low as 0.1, but like it will just decrease the quality a lot, and I don't want to do that. But like you can experiment with it. Like we can experiment with changing the values, and like this is the standard method like most people use for adding the glow to an object. Right now we are adding glow to the lights. So we are blurring it, and then we have got another shader render pass. Let's change 0.5 and 0.5. Let's see what is it that we're getting right now. We can just see it here also. So this is what we're getting, but like it's not that, like we want it to be more, like we want it to be more spread out. So I'll use another blur, but this time a different blur, that is a box blur. Connect it to this and connect the texture size from the device to this. Now connect the device output. So right now it's more blurred, but like if you change this to 10, then like it's very minor, but you can see the box like structures there. We need to right now increase its brightness. So we'll use a multiply patch in between. It acts as a strength controller for us. So yeah, 5. Yeah, you can, by the way, I'm using arrow keys to increase or decrease the values. You can hold on R and do the same. Then it will increment in 0.1. You can hold on control and do the same. It will increment in 100. Like it will increment by 100 number. Yeah, I've got this. Like this looks pretty cool. So right now what we'll do is we'll add this on top of our previous layer with the blend mode add. So let's get this here. Use the add patch. Connect it and connect the device to this. So right now the lights are glowing, but since everything is bright, like the glowing of lights is not that prominent. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to darken the background a bit. That we'll do here between the scene render pass and the add. Just search for a fast color LUT. Since I've already imported that patch, it's exactly appearing in the search. Connect it and connect it, and we'll use the dark LUT. If this is too this is making the camera texture too dark, what we can do is we can use a mix patch in between to control its opacity. Connect and connect. So 0 means whatever is here in the scene render pass that we are getting, and 1 means whatever is in the whatever is coming out from the fast color alert that we are getting. So we can change it to 0.75. Let's say, yeah, this looks good. Now what we have to do is we have to animate those lights. For this, I will be using SDF lines. So let me show you how we can do that. So just search SDF lines, and here if you drop this down, you can see this. We want an horizontal line, so change this to 0 and normal of y to 1. Half width can be 0.025. Next, we'll send it to a smooth step from edge minimum of 0 to edge max of 0.1, and use a subtract patch and change the upper value to 1. Right now, if you want to see it, you can just use a shader render pass for just previewing what we are making. So this is what we are getting. So similarly, I have done this multiple times. I don't want to bore you guys like doing this multiple times. So I've done this already in patch group, SDF lines. If you just open this, it's the same thing but done multiple times. One sec. Yeah, I'm using SDF lines. I'm using SDF union and connecting all of them, and smooth step and subtract. I'm sending that to the output. So if I use this here, this is what I've got. I'm using like 5 or 6 lines. Now what we'll do is we'll animate those lines, the movement of those lines, and we'll use that as custom alpha for our lights. Custom alpha mask for our lights. We'll use texture transform and connect it here, and use a 2D transform pack so that we can manipulate its x and y values. We only need to manipulate its y values. Next, what we'll do is we'll get the counter patch and we'll send it to option picker so that we can change this value. So here, if you see, if I increase the translation in y by 0.1, just observe the shader. Actually, we don't need shader render pass. We can just view that here in the texture transform. If I increase the if I increase the y value, then you can see there's a movement in it, like from 0, 0.1, 0.2. If I go beyond, then there's a like black line. So we need to move it from 0 to 0.2. So what I'll do is, since we need 3 values, I'll just keep 3, 0, 0.1, and 0.2. Since this is vector 2, I'll also have to change this to vector 2 as well. We don't need movement in X, and add it to translation. And for the counter, we'll use a loop animation patch to increase the values. Connect the looped output to this one, so it will send the pulse. So here you can see every 1 second this is changing, and maximum count can be 3 since we have 3 of those, and this can be 0.8 or 0.7 also works. Can change to 0.7. To control this, we can use a screen tap patch so that when we screen tap, the animation of the light starts. So we can use a screen tap. This is how we are adding the interaction. You can add any other gesture that you want. Next, I'll just organize this a bit. And yeah, we can use a mix patch here before the multiply and add. Connect it as alpha, and this here and this here. So right now, if I go to here and simulate touch, if I tap, then you can see the lights are animating. We can also add a breathing effect to it by animating its alpha here before it is sent to the mix patch. So I'll just pause this. I'll use another mix patch. I'll add this here, add this here, and I'll use a loop animation patch. And since the loop animation patch goes from 0 to 1, we need it to go from 0.35 to 1. So we'll use a 2 range to change the range of that from 0.35 to 1. Next, we'll add it. So right now what's happening is it is having that breathing effect mirrored. It is having that breathing effect along with this effect. So if I screen tap again here, let's say, it is only having that breathing effect. I can screen tap again to get this loop animation going. So what I'm essentially trying to do here is we always have that have seen that Christmas lights. It has that white box at the at the power socket where you can tap and change its mode. Like that is what I'm trying to recreate here in this AR effect. Yeah. So we have got the lights. Let's move on to next user segmentation and other things. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll segment the user from this. It's super simple to do. Go to camera, create a segmentation, that is person segmentation mask. Rename this as person segmentation. Now we will add a material. We'll add a canvas to this. Make sure this is visible. Add canvas, add a rectangle. Make sure the rectangle is of right size. Fill width and fill height. Give a material to it. It is user. I guess I had already created that, but let's delete that and recreate it. Material should be standard. Sorry, it should be flat. And this can be user material. Base texture is camera, and next would be alpha would be the person segmentation. Now this is not visible in our simulator because it has not been sent to the render pass, that is scene render pass. So we'll use a scene render pass here. We cannot directly connect the add here. We'll need to use a shader render pass in between so that it is converted into a shader. Next we'll connect this here. Right now we have not got anything here in the scene render pass. We'll add the user object here in the scene object, and our user is segmented. So this is how it looks right now. And we can do the same thing for our elements of accessories. So use another scene render pass, connect it here, and connect the device here. Next, connect the accessories to the scene object. So we have got the glasses, we have got the party hat, and we have got the render passes set up properly. Now we'll do the adjustment on this. So right now what we'll do is we'll add movement to our lights, like very subtle movement in X direction. So let's get the fairy lights position, create a patch for it, and use a loop animation patch. This project is not organized at all right now, but we'll do it at the end or later. Let's see. We have got we'll be adding loop animation patch to a transition to control the progress, and then we'll make the Y and Z direction movement 0. We'll be moving it from 0 to 1, like from 0.025, from negative 0.025 to positive 0.025. Let's play this. Okay, this is bit too much. We want very subtle movement here. So I'll add another 0. Okay, this looks good. I'll change the animation type to sinusoidal in and out. And we can increase it a bit, like 0.3. Okay, this looks good to me. We have added the movement to the lights. Let's see, right now we have added LUT to the background. we need to add a LUT overall to the effect. So what we'll do is we'll get uh, like fast color LUT here and add it to this. We'll use another mix here to control its opacity or control the LUT's strength. Connect it and connect it here, connect this here, and the LUT would be cherry. So if you change this to 1, so this is what our LUT is doing right now. It is giving us this look. And let's change the simulator to video. Yeah, it's looking very like I like this look a lot. So I'll just increase it, decrease it by 0.25. This looks great. We can also manipulate the colors if we want. Right now what we'll do is we'll add a face smoothing to it. Since we are using render pass, we cannot directly add like retouching to the face mesh. So what we'll do is go to into accessories. We have got a face tracker here, add a face mesh and create a material for it, flat, and move it above this. And here make sure you disable depth test. So we have got this, and now we'll create the render pass skin smoothing. I already have a patch for it, so I'll just drag that patch here, and if you go into this patch, you can see it's a series of blurs. That's it, Gaussian blurs. You can explore this patch, but this is what we'll be using. Connect the camera texture here. Okay, but we need a face extraction render pass, since we'll be only applying it to the face, the retouching. So send it to this camera texture. Make sure the tracked face is face tracker 0. Here you can see this texture. We'll be sending it to the it. I'll make this as a patch group because sometimes this tend to like give error. That's why. Connect it here and connect the material to this. We'll rename this material to face retouch material. Retouch material. Make a patch for its texture. Connect it here. Right now nothing is happening. Let me try and switch it to my video. Yeah, right now nothing is happening, and you can see the eyes has a bit of like there's a bit of lines in the eyes. So what I'll do is I'll go into the face mesh and remove eyes and mouth, disable them. Next I'll change the strength to 1. You can see the skin smoothing. It's very prominent. It's looking really good. Let's change it back to eddy. Yeah, this is how you can add skin smoothing to render pass while using render pass. It's super useful. And if you see closely, our glasses also has some anti-aliasing issues when it's like this. So we can add a anti-aliasing shader for it. So okay, it has got aliasing right now. We'll add this shader to fix it. We cannot directly connect this, it will give us error. We have to connect it to a shader render pass, then connect it to this and connect it to device. So instantly it is like the edges are a lot better right now. So we have got this. So this is the look that we're getting right now. What we'll do is we'll also add a canvas and rectangle for a texture animation that I've got. So add a rectangle, make sure it's of the right size, create material for it. This would be texture. It can be bokeh. The texture animation has subtle bokeh to it. Change it to flat. And I've already created an animation sequence for that. So it is bokeh overlay. I can change this to this and change the blend mode to screen. This is like a bit too much. I'll reduce it back to 40. So let's increase this. Yeah. And what we can do is we can go into rectangle and increase its scale a bit, 1.2. So this looks good to me. And we can, like, if you want, you can get the animation sequence and loop it in the patch editor, but right now it's already looped. Like, if you want, you can control this using current frames and using frame animation patch, frame transition patch. Yeah, but we'll not be doing that. Yeah. Next, what we'll do is we'll also add some particles to this, some snow particles. I guess that's covered already in the other workshops, but yeah, we'll add subtle snow particles to this. So create a particle system, call it snow. And what we'll do is we'll position it a bit up. So we'll change it to 0.3. Type would be plain. Size can be 1 and 1. Next, the birth rate, let's leave the birth rate to 20. The spray angle can be 180, so the particles are coming downwards. We can change this to 10, and speed, we can change the variation to 25. Like, these are the values that I have already done, so I know they work. Next, let's change the particle scale to, let's keep it that way and we'll change it later. Lifespan to 5 seconds, so that the 5 seconds is a bit too much, I guess. Into 4, and change the warm up to 4 seconds as well. Next, let's remove billboarding. And what we'll do for the material is we'll create a material, a flat material, and I will be using SDF circle for this. So add a texture, use a smooth step, add this, and add it to a subtract patch and connect it here. Change it to 1. Okay, now we have got this. And let's change the radius is a bit too much. Let's change it to 0.1 and edge max to 0.25 so that they look like a circle. Let's pause. Okay, they are looking like a circle, but yeah. So right now the canvas can be below it. So let's see if there is any overlap, and we can go into the snow material. I have to rename this, okay, snow material, and I have to change the blend mode to screen and reduce opacity a bit, like 60%. Okay, this is how it looks, and we can enable alpha test to this. Yeah, this looks good to me. If you want, you can change the color as well, something like this, but that is not looking good. This snow is like, this is very very basic kind of snow particle effect. You can add texture to this in this value here. You can add texture and manipulate it so that it looks more like snow, and you can just remove this so that it appears on the face. If you have this enabled, it will not appear on the face. Well, that's pretty much it. So this is the simple effect that we have created for the winter holidays on the theme fairy lights. We have got interaction going on. We have got render passes that we're using to add different visual effects like glow, color correction, and retouching, and a lot of things. Yeah. And one more thing is, if you ever see some, like, let's say if you have a black clothing, and if you see some problem in this in the area where you have the you have some color showing up, I'll show you how it looks. Like, sometimes you'll have issues with the LUT. So right now we have to recreate the error to show you how it exactly looks. So I'll get the user material, add a texture to it, and I'll go to the camera and use a adjust color shader. This is also imported so I can easily get it here. Just color shader, and yeah, here right now, if you see, let's, okay, but increase the brightness by zero point 0.1, contrast by zero point 0.1, brightness by, I reduce the brightness, increase the saturation, and increase the lightness. You can decrease it a bit, not increase. So right now you can see there's a bit of color like problem going on the clothes. It will also be evident, very evident here. So if this happens, then what you can do is like this is error that I have created. Like right now I have created this error, but if usually this happens because if you don't have like proper LUT, then what you can do is you can go into fast color LUT, and you can change these values here, clamp values. You can modify them. These are already modified from the default thing, default patch. So you can change this to 0.05 to 0.9 and experiment so that this goes away. But yeah, I'll let's say if you want to apply that, um, there's some error. Okay, I have to remove this. Let's remove this. So let's say I want to apply this because this looks really good. What I'll do is I'll go here, connect this here, and connect this. Oops. So I can connect this here and connect the output to shader. So that I get this, like it's right now it's like a bit too much. So I'll have to reduce this a lot. So 0.05, contrast 0.05, and saturation 0.15, and brightness 0.05. So if you see before and after, if I connect it here directly, this is the before and this is the after that we're getting. And if we change it to another simulated video, we also don't have that error of colors like leaking. So yeah, this is the final look that we got. This was the tutorial. There are a lot more textures available. There are more textures and LUTs available in the asset pack. You can use that and experiment and do your effect. And similarly, how I added glow to these lights, we can also add glow to the hat. Let's say you have that red, yellow, and white balls there. You can add a light like glow to them and make them animated glow. And you can also add glow to the stars that are on the party hat. You can do a lot of things with this technique. I hope you learned something new here in this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this, and we'll see you in the live session. Bye bye.
People, hello, hello everyone. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial. I know I was reading the chats that the tutorial was very fast. I had to cover a lot of things in a very short amount of time, but there were a lot of techniques, different techniques used there. If you have any doubts in any step, just ask me right now. We can also get right now we have a creative pod, so we can get into pods, and first 15 minutes I'll be in the newcomers pod, so I'll help you there. And also next 15 minutes I'll be in the experience pods. Yeah, awesome. Um, yeah, if you have any doubts regarding if I why I did exactly this technique, you can ask me that as well. Awesome. We can right now get started with the pods. See you in there.
Hey guys. So if nobody has any questions, I see one's just come in the Q&A. Yes, the workshop will be available for recording. It's being recorded and it will be available
Yeah, it
after.
will be available. Yes.
But if we don't have any questions coming in, we'll jump into the creator pods, like Varun said. So I'm going to open the lounge and you'll see it at the tab at the top. And then you could just jump into the lounge. There's the newcomer, there's the experience lounge, and you'll be able to go and speak to other creators and practice the techniques that you've just learned. It's a great way to interact with other creators and also a great way to speak to Varun face to face. He'll be in the newcomer pod. He'll be sharing his screen for the first 15 minutes, and you could just ask him really intimate questions about the techniques of Spark AR, and he'll be able to walk you through a live tutorial. So don't be shy and head on over to the pods.
Yo, hello everyone. So right now we will publish the effect by recording the demo video in Spark AR itself. So I'll share my screen right now. So here, once you have your effect ready, go to publish, and here in the demo video, click on right now. I'll use this option to record my video. Record it. I'll use my webcam. So this is how it looks. So I'll just record it. You can do some movement, and if your filter has some interaction, you can do that as well. And I'll stop this. Once your demo video is recorded, you can just click on save, and next steps would be clicking on upload. This will directly upload your effect on Spark AR Hub, and the tab will open. Now, give it time. Yeah, it will directly take us to Spark AR Hub, where we can name our effect and choose the categories and everything. So here you can see on the right side, I can see my profile, and on the left side, we have all the uh, space available to put our name for the effect and choose other things. Here in the name, I'll put this winter lights, and I want it to be live on Instagram, not on Facebook. Uh, then if you want your filter to be used by everyone, then it should be set to public, and make sure the owner is correct, and make sure your Instagram account is linked. You can see that here, which account is linked. And when you're sending it to the competition, you can click on this button that says competition entry. Enter this effect in the Holiday Spark challenge competition, and here I'll select the category. This is we are we are changing. We are not. This is not a appearance. So yeah, one can be color and light. Next would be sci-fi and fantasy. Then causes, camera styles, events. Yes, events for celebrating holidays for sure. And then we've got, yeah, I these three uh, categories work for this. Here you can put on your keywords. One would be winter holidays, then party hat, fairy lights, glasses. These are the terms through which people can find your effect. And then you can also upload a custom image. Right now I haven't made a custom image for this, so I'll use this image from the thumbnail. You can change the thumbnail here. So I'll let me get this. Yeah, and this will also change the thumbnail. Later you can upload a different image. And let's say you were collaborating with a few other AR creators on this project. You can click on add collaborators and search their name here and add them. That's it. So I can also add myself. Since I'm working with myself, this also, but this will not let me. Let's search for Raikar. Yeah, this will not let me add myself. Yeah, you can add someone else if you're working with the more AR creators. And that's pretty much it. Once you're done with this, you can click on submitting your effect. It will be uploaded on Spark AR Hub, and it will go into the approval process. Approval usually takes 6 hours, 12 hours, or 1 day. Like usually it's the amount that amount of time right now, but maximum it takes about 5 days. But most of the times it gets approved in 1 or 2 days max. Yeah. But when you're making effects for your clients, then you definitely tell them that they need to have at least 5 days buffer. Yeah, our effect is submitted and it is in review. Once it's reviewed and approved, it will show here in the activity log, and you'll also see that it will be this not visible status will be changed to visible. Yep, I'll stop my screen share right now and come back. Okay, yes, okay. Yeah, if your effects do not get approved for more than 48 hours, just let SparkAR know in the SparkAR community on Facebook. Yeah. I'll also show yeah, I'll also show you how you can get the assets. Right now I have imported the assets from outside. I'll share my screen and show you how you can get it in Spark inside of Spark Air Studio. So what you can do is I'll share my screen. One sec. In the Spark Air. Yeah. Here you can go to AR library and search for Holiday Spark. Go to Viva and make sure the source is Spark Air, and you can see all of the assets that are available to you for this competition. Let's say you want to import the gift box, that is the 3D present box. Click on it and click on import, and it will get imported in your asset library, and you can use it in your effect. Yeah, it is imported in my asset library, and I can just drag it and drop it into my scene here. One sec. Yep, I guess it got stuck. But yeah, you can just drag it and drop it in the scene tab and use it in your effect. I'll stop my screen share. Yeah, awesome. Did you guys like? Okay, I'll just share that again. One sec. I guess it didn't get recorded. To import your assets from the Spark AR library, you can, for the winter holiday competition, you can just go to AR library and search for holiday Spark. Here, go to view all 3D objects. Make sure the source is set to Spark AR, and you can see all of the assets here. You can just click on anyone that you want, click on import, and it will be imported in your asset manager. You can just drag that and drop it in the scene tab to use it in your effect. Yeah, I'll stop my screen share right now. Okay, so I hope you all learned different techniques. This effect has a lot of things involved. We are making custom render pipelines. We are using 3D objects. We are manipulating its values in the patch editor. We are also manipulating material alphas in the patch editor. We are adding interaction such as screen tap. And the main part about this is the glow part that I really loved making it. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Do share
Thanks so
your
much,
effects with
Varun.
me on my Instagram. Yeah, at the rate VR7.tech. Yes,
Thank you
thank
so
you so
much,
much.
Varun. I think it would be so cool if you would be able to share some resources where you find inspiration and any tips for getting started with freelancing and working with clients and brands. Do you have any tips for our students here?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. As far as finding inspiration goes, I get inspired from other AR creators, and also how when I started learning AR, most of the effects that I did was something that existed in the real world. Let's say I I used to watch an anime Naruto a lot. I like this character, uh, Kakashi. So I wanted to look like that character. So what I did is I made that character in Spark AR, and I made that character in Blender and imported the 3D assets in Spark AR, and then I was able to like look like that character. Like it's like you are you have two realities. One is the reality that we are in right now, and another one is this new layer that is augmented reality, in which you can live out your like let's say live out your fantasy experiences. So you want to look like an anime character or any other character, you can just make that in Spark AR and look like that. So that is one of my major inspirations. He appearing like making certain appearances like that. Yeah, that thing. And mostly mostly what I try to create is whatever is existing in the real world, I recreate it in Spark AR using augmented reality. Yeah. And as far as freelancing goes, uh, you have to promote yourself a lot, um, uh, to other clients. You have to put out your work. People have to know that you are doing this and you have got this expertise. The way you can do that is by posting your about your by posting about your the filters, the effects that you created, by posting about them on your Instagram account. You can also post them on YouTube or Twitter, so that more people know that you're doing this. And if if you see a brand that could benefit from from having an AR effect, just reach out to them and tell them that you can build an AR effect and send them the estimation. And that has worked really well for me from the start. What I used to do is I used to see these brand campaigns. Uh, the brand campaign could really, uh, let's say a brand is running an event for, there was chess event I did this for. There was an online chess event. So what I did, I reached out to the event organizers. I told them we'll make a quiz effect for the event, and people can answer different uh, questions about chess by tilting their head left or right. They loved the idea. We made the effect, and it was really well appreciated by the audience, and even more people came into the event. Yeah, you can just reach out to the event organizers or the brands that you want to that would benefit from having an AR effect. Now it's almost like almost all the brands can benefit from having an AR effect. Like, yeah.
That's a really great tip. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of people will use that going forward. I'm not sure whether you've already covered this, but there's quite a good question in the Q&A here. So can you
Yeah.
explain the layers? When do you use layers, and what other considerations should be accounted for, and when do you not use layers?
Yeah, let's get that question. Yeah.
Great.
Layers. So right now, I actually don't use layers a lot. One thing would be whenever you're using occluders, layers play a very important role, so that you know what is an occluder and what is being excluded from the view. Whenever you're using occluders, use layers. Otherwise, mostly I use scene render passes. Like that is more efficient. That is what I like uh, to visualize, because you can see those layers in the patch editor itself. In render pass, it's like you have one object, you have scene render pass, you use that object as scene object, and you have got these layers like we use in Photoshop. It's really easy to view, but in the scene tab, the layering, the rendering order is different. The rendering order is from bottom to top. In the layers tab, the rendering order is from top to bottom. So that's why I prefer doing it in the directly in the render pass itself. So if you're not doing render passes, then you can do that in scene tab itself. Only when you're using occluders, you can use the layers tab. Or if you have a lot of different layers, then you can use it. But mostly I don't find using myself layers a lot. I either use render passes or I just use the scene tab by moving the objects up and down. Yeah, and we have a few more questions. Let's, yeah. For beginners, is there any available, yeah, for beginners, is there any guide available to create the AR effect? Yeah, there are like lots of resources available right now. One is Spark AR has launched 3 courses, one for beginners, total beginners, one for intermediate creators, and one is called AR Pro course, which is if you want to take this to a professional level, make effects for clients. That is like that will give you the whole set of things. So if you go through all the 3 courses, then you're pretty well equipped to do any effect that you want. Yeah, I can just share that link, Spark AR course. I can just share that link in the chat, and you can go through it. Yes. Let's take another question. Chat. Yes. One sec. A question Q&A. I have a question about the quality of video preview. I record with my phone and then upload it through the browser of my phone. Somehow it's always bad quality on my profile. Is there a way to fix that? Um, like that, it totally depends. Let's say um, if you have an older Android phone and you're using very new capabilities, then it might cause an issue in quality. So whenever you're recording a demo video, make sure you use make sure to record that demo video inside simulator, like how I did it in previously, or you can on your phone uh, try and have a good lighting. If you have low lighting on your phone, then also the effect video quality gets bad. Yeah. Also, it doesn't make any difference if you upload it on phone or upload it on PC. The video file is the same. Let's take balance question. My filter was accepted and was accepted and has the assets was not accepted. I'm not able to see the question properly here.
I think that question's more for the moderators to see whether the or why the effect
Okay, okay.
wasn't accepted. But we
How
do
to
have a
make
great
a,
question from Paula, who
yeah,
says, how
yeah.
many render passes can you use in an effect? Is there a maximum?
Actually, there's not a maximum. You can use as many as you want, but what you can do is use use how much you need. Right now, I needed like scene render passes and shader render passes. I have used that much only. I have not used any extra. Like if you use a lot of render passes, it actually doesn't make any difference on the final effect. But if you use a lot of blur effect, if you use Gaussian blur, and if you increase the quality a lot, let's say render passes gives you 1:1, uh, the ratio, that is the default value, and you use a blur patch on top of it, like a Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur runs this convolution patch, which lets you add that blur. If you use more of that, then it will be an issue. then the effect will not run on lower end phones. It will lag a lot. So always make sure that you test your effect on a lower end phone, lower end Android phone, higher end Android phone, older iPhone, and newer iPhone. This is what I do whenever I'm making an effect. And yeah, like you can test this on these four devices, and if it doesn't work on any one of them, it actually depends on your audience also. Let's say you have a global campaign going on. At that time, you should make sure that you don't use capabilities such as segmentation, very new capabilities such as hand tracking, or the capabilities which does not work on all of the phones. So you have to make sure that, because it's a global campaign, and the newer capabilities tend to not work on very old Android phones. Yeah, make sure your capabilities and your audience devices match. You will have a rough idea. It's a global campaign, then you have to make sure your effect supports a lot of devices. Then you don't have to use very like experimental features. Yeah, that's it. And there's no limit on how many render passes you can use your effect. Yeah, awesome. How to make a playable effect? Is there any workshop coming up regarding this? By playable effect, I mean I think you mean like a game. A game effect would require a scripting, and would require heavy logic. So that cannot be covered in like 30 minutes. It's a whole different kind of course in itself. Hopefully, Spark will make it at some point. Okay, I I'm just seeing the chat. Mm, Your effects. How many render passes you done? iPhone SE2 and the ringlet. Okay. Yeah, iPhone SE2, it should work, but it actually doesn't make any difference if you upload it on the phone or on the PC. It's the same video file. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.
Hey,
Um,
Varun, we don't have any more
Thank you so
questions
much
coming
everyone
in
for
the
joining.
Q&A.
Awesome.
Hey, Varun, we
Um,
don't have any more questions coming in the Q&A. So,
okay,
and we're coming up to the 2-hour mark on your workshop, so we could wrap it up there. Thank you so, so much for
awesome.
being our awesome Spark AR
Yes,
facilitator for this workshop.
yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, that was really incredible. And you put a lot of work into your demo video, so we really appreciate that. And thank you everyone for coming to these Spark AR holiday workshops. It was amazing to see so much interaction, and thank you for all your questions in the creator pods. We can't wait to see what you create. And please do keep tagging Dribble and Spark AR creators and Varun on Instagram. It's so cool to see your effects. So keep tagging us and sharing your work. A reminder that this Spark AR holiday competition is running until December 21st. So make sure you submit your effects before then. Really cool prizes. And we hope that you've learned techniques that will help sort of help you create your Spark AR holiday effects. Thank you for coming. Yeah, thanks Renee for putting the link in the chat. I'm going to be sending around an email after this, and it will include the 3 recordings of the Spark AR holiday workshops. So we had one with Jefferson, one with Blago, and today's one with Varun. So I'll include the links so you could rewatch all the tutorials. They live on Dribble YouTube. And yeah, big thanks to Varun, big thanks to Spark AR. Thank you all. And we will see you at another Spark AR workshop. Happy holidays, everybody.